I will start with one of our clients ambaye amenunua shamba Malindi na ni mheshimiwa wetu, tulikuwa tunampatia title yake. Tumpigie makofi Mheshimiwa Sankok anapokuja kusema award for the day. Mpigieni makofi mazuri mpaka Mheshimiwa Sankok afike hapa. Na ukimwona hivyo anapandaga mlima huyu anaweza panda mlima. Hata stairs tumeenda kupanda na yeye akaniambia tusiingie kwa lift. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Hebu tusalamiane kidogo. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Na mnaona niko na security tight. One of them is my daughter. She have also heard that there is investment here, so she have come. And I'm speaking not as an honorable member of Yala, but as an investor in Imara Land Investment Company, and as a beneficiary. And I'll have to give a testimony that this is a very trusted company that all of us need to invest on. When God created man in the book of Genesis, He created man in His own image and likeness. And from the man, He created a woman. So God created two people in the beginning. Another time, still the world had 126 billion acres. So those two people own 126 billion acres. Now, we have 8 billion people in this planet called Earth. And the acreage is still 126 billion. It have not increased, meaning the land is becoming scarce. During the scramble for Africa, when Kenya was created, it had 140 million acres with only 2 million residents or citizens. Today, we still have the 140 million acres and 55 million citizens. That means the land is becoming scarce, and anything that is scarce is precious. You know, oxygen is so important, more important than gold, but we get it free. But because gold is scarce, it is very expensive. Land is becoming scarce and scarce and scarce, and that means it will become more precious and more precious. So those who have invested on land, you will never go wrong. You will never go wrong. And I think it is also good to note that land is very emotive. And when we buy land, at times, we end up not buying land, but buying problems. Especially our brothers from the diaspora. When they invest through their relatives, through their friends, they are shown investments, they are shown empty lands, sometimes even buildings that don't exist. But when they come back home, after 10 years of toil, of sweat, they find that actually they did not invest in anything. But Imara Land Investment Company, I can attest, have come to bridge that gap. Because Imara, and I'm a beneficiary, I'm an investor in Imara. I have now 3 titles. Today I will take 1. The others are already safely at home. In fact, I did not tell my daughter I was here. But when she heard that I am in Imara Investment Company, because she knows the importance of it, I just heard that she's around here and she have come to witness. So they have come to bridge that gap, because when you are in diaspora, you may not be able to visit or to know the value of the particular piece of land, you may not know the prospect of that land. Because sometimes here in Kenya, when the road, a very good superhighway is passing somewhere, the land appreciates very fast. When you are in diaspora, you may not be aware of what is happening. And what Imara Land Investment have done is that you will invest in them, buy land, but it is your relatives who will come and witness that the land actually exists and it is there. So at the end of the day, you have checks and balance. But when you send your money to your relatives, to your friends, sometimes you may not have checks and balance as to if the land exists. Secondly, it is very expensive to buy land. Not necessarily the price of the land, but the follow-up in terms of getting the title deed. You can imagine this Maasai standing before you, owning a land in Malindi. If I were to follow up the process, I have to go first of all, site visit, see if the land exists. Then after that, I come back to Narok, and then I'll go the day of surveying, so that we survey, we put the beaconing, and then I will also go the day of sale agreements, we sign. I may end up visiting Malindi 10 times from Narok. Every time, whether I've traveled by air or by road, and you know Malindi is not 10 kilometers, I have to spend 2 days there or 3 in every visit. I'll end up spending 50,000 per visit. So if I visit 10 times, that is 500,000 before the price of land. So even if the price of land was 200 shillings, you end up spending 700,000. If it was 200,000 Kenya shillings, you end up spending 700,000 because of the extra expenses, which then Imara Land Investment Company will mitigate. You may not actually incur all those expenses. So for me, I want to be very, very brief and to tell Imara, especially the CEO, I've met him as a young man, and I saw a young man with a vision. You know, most of us young men, what you do is that you buy a phone, use the phone to do politics. You don't earn anything from that politics. Use the phone to report how many casualties were in a certain road accident. Yet, you are not the page of obituary, so you are not paid anything. You use your phone sometimes to call and to inform people where it have rained, when necessarily don't have livestock that will benefit from the rain or crops that will benefit from the rain. Yet there are people from weather forecast who benefit from that. But this young man with a vision decided to use his social media, not to politic, not to do mshene. You know, some of you may not know that. Nie de Mogekoyo vio de Madai Wangwashe. So I'm at home. So I saw that young man with a vision, and I decided that we will travel together and we'll hold hands. And I will want to encourage all of you to have visions, because in the book of Habakkuk 2:2-3 says, write your vision on plain tablets so that anybody who is passing can see that vision. You have written your vision. Though Corona came, you almost distinguish the vision, but the vision, because it is written in plain tablets. The book of God in Habakkuk 2:2-3 says that the vision may delay, but it will eventually come. The vision of Imara Land Investment is here today. It have been realized. Lastly, I want to encourage you, get customers all over the world, get land, not only in Kenya, but beyond Kenya, because I'm a member of parliament representing 7 countries of the East African community. In those 7 countries, we have 1.2 billion acres. So you can invest this huge chunk of land we have 300 million citizens within the East African community. So broaden your catchment area, broaden your clientele so that even clients from the East African community can also invest, and those from abroad can not only buy land from Kenya, but also in Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, DRC, and South Sudan. With those very many remarks, you know, today is not politics. Unajua mimi Mungu alininyima mguu lakini akanipatia mdomo. Kama ningepata nafasi ya kuongea, ndio basi mnajua hata one organ ikifail ingine inatumika na utapata unga tu ukitafutia. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me. And I've seen my brother Ngaroia, who have just arrived. You are welcome. I think you are an investor here. And if you are not an investor, please invest in Imara Investment Limited. Thank you very much. Thank you, my security team. I think today I'm very secure, especially when you are secured by very beautiful ladies. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now...
Siwezi patiana kabla sijapatiwa yangu.
Muhimu sana.
Yangu kwanza.
Muhimu sana. Hiyo ni muhimu sana.
Security iko tight.
Na kuna mrembo wetu hapa naona kama atende na Mheshimiwa Sankok. Simuoni vizuri. Usininyang'anye. Let us congratulate Mheshimiwa anapochukua title yake, ndio hiyo. Na msome vizuri David Ole. Ole ni kusema aje?
Son of.
Oh, son of Sankok. Okay, asante.